All right, so now that we are in a place where we can move on past vignettes and go into a topic with a little bit more depth to it, a little bit bigger picture story there, we're going to call that a personal essay or anecdotal essay, or we're going to just call it memoir. That's good too. Um, Now, what's with pretty much a universal situation here is when new writers approach the concept of a personal essay. Okay, when new writers start writing personal essays, a lot of the same topics come up over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, things like the loss of beloved grandmother, or any other relative for that matter. First loves, first heartbreak, those afternoons, those special afternoons, been playing catch with dad, and so on, those sort of things, because they're kind of universal, right? Um, these are universal experiences that all of us have and can relate to. So how do we write about these universal experiences without finding ourselves trapped in the realm of cliche, right? Because you want to make sure that whatever you're writing about these experiences, if that this is the sort of topic that you're going to choose, you want to make sure that you don't just end up writing these cliched tropes over and over and over, but you have something that's original and your own to say, right? And that's the key. And here's the thing: people write about these experiences all the time, but you can approach those exact same things because they are so universal, and really connect to a reader effectively. You just got to do it in the right way. Now, Rachel Hansen, she's a creative writing teacher. She has a really, really, really good suggestion for how to deal with this. It says, don't try to avoid the topics, okay? Instead, you just want to approach them a little differently. And this actually is pretty good advice, I think, for approaching any topic here in this personal memoir sort of essay, okay? Spend a good chunk of time figuring out what truly preoccupies your mind about that particular moment. Okay, what is the thing about it that, I don't know, really speaks to you, or really makes you think? What she does is then she has writers they make lists. They even think about the topics maybe for a few weeks before actually approaching the writing process. Now, you don't necessarily have to spend that much time doing that, but it's a good idea. You mull it around and you figure out what those things are. As an example, she gives about a student who wanted to write about a grandmother's death. Okay, fine topic, but really easy to end up, just being a cliche instead of being what the writer truly wanted it to be. This expression of this very special relationship and everything. And the student discovered that really what she found fascinating about this whole experience was the way she had experienced time around that death, and how it was different than her normal experience of time. And then the essay that she wrote ended up being about how time shapes pain and how pain shapes time. And so notice what's going on here. The essay wasn't simply, here's my story of my own personal experience with death, right? Instead, she used that personal experience with death to make a universal point about mourning in general. And in doing so, anyone could relate to that particular piece of writing, right? It wasn't just, here's my story. It's, I'm making a point and I'm using my story to make that point. Okay, so that's the key here for a really solid personal memoir. It isn't just the writer talking about their own experience, it's the writer using that personal experience to then connect with the reader. And when you connect with the reader about their own personal experience, and you do so in some sort of universal way. So you definitely want to keep that idea in mind as you begin writing your own personal memoir, anecdotal essay.